Welcome everyone. Come on in, everyone. Come on in to Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 7. And my name is Deborah, and I'm going to be doing individual recaps on all the individual couples. Plus, I'm going to do a recap on the after party. I'm going to upload them separately, and then hopefully tomorrow I'll compile them. And those of you who like to watch the whole thing straight for an hour or so, you can watch the whole thing. So now I want to talk about Jasmine and Airris, y'all. Woo! Didn't I tell you guys last week that Airris was on some get back from Jasmine? I told you guys that this whole thing about Airris not being so-called attracted to Jasmine physically because she doesn't have a big booty, I told you it was all a cover-up. It was a get back for how he was actually feeling in the relationship, and he's chosen this whole looks thing to hang on to that because he really doesn't want to say what the real problem is. I told you last week the Aries has some self-esteem problems, and when she went in on that, you 39, never been in love, that bothered him. And then we find out on this after party this week, which I'm going to talk about on that video as well. We find out that Jasmine busted him on something else, and that is, remember when Aries said he slept with a woman right before he got married? Well, it turns out Jasmine knows who that girl is. Boom, there it is. I'm telling you, these couple of things, before Aries started giving her these fours, they had this whole discussion, and she found out all about this woman long before Aries started giving her fours. Like I told you, Aries didn't have a problem with Jasmine's looks. He only started having a problem with Jasmine's looks when he started looking bad in the eyes of Jasmine. And then next thing you know, it's a problem with her looks. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's all a cover up. One of the things I'm figuring out about Aries is stuck emotionally at 11 years old. How many times this week have we had to hear about this father of his that died at 11 years old? 11 years old, he's 39, which means for 28 years, his father has been dead, died in Michigan. He's from the same place, what's his name? Mac is from, maybe not the same city, but I think he's from Detroit. His dad was from Detroit. And he said he used to go visit his dad when he was 11 years, when he was young. He would remember going and visit his dad. His dad died at 11, murdered. So first of all, his dad didn't even grow up in the house with him. And we hear about this dead father 5-6 times this episode. And I'm telling you, Aries is emotionally stunted at 11 years old. And this is why he has no emotional availability for anyone. This is why he has this non-emotional sex with women before he's about to get married. Hey, here's my last time to have some sex with a woman that I have no emotional bond with. Let me get in my last hit. It's almost like an alcoholic about to go in a treatment center and they decide, let me get wasted one more last time. Aries is emotionally unavailable, and it's all wrapped around this daddy that somehow he's idolizing for the last 28 days. His daddy is like a martyr, and we don't even know what that man was like, considering he left his family and he was murdered. Who knows what he was into? Aries made a decision at a young age as a little boy. He may not even realize he made this decision, but he made a decision at a very young age. He was never going to love anybody. He said, "A love hurts, and I'm never going to love anyone." And he is still stuck with his dead father for 29 years. He wears the man around his shirt. He's got a picture of the obituary in the house. They go to the apartment. The apartment is named 313. It's after his dad in Detroit. He connects sneakers. He says it's because his dad did, and that's what made him want to collect sneakers. I mean, it's like this guy is trying to reincarnate and be his father all over again. And I don't know what his dad did. Maybe his dad was a person unemotionally available as well. Who knows what he did with women. And then he's repeating the same mistakes as his father, even though he didn't really grow up with his father. Aries needs therapy. I told you, I never really got player vibes from Aries. I never really got those vibes from him. I got a person who was self-centered, okay, which he is, because it's all about him or protecting his feelings, making him safe, because he doesn't develop any emotion or care for anyone else. Not at all. Not one other person does he probably care about unless that person is doing something for him. Period. Everything about Aries is either about that person doing something for him. That's it. That's all he cares about. He's selfish, but he's selfish because it's all about protecting himself. He's worried about protecting the little boy who's 11 years old, and he's emotionally stunted at 11-year-old boy, or maybe even younger. Yeah, I said it. Aries is like an 11-year-old emotionally. When they had this little rating system going on at the table, and Jasmine gave him a 7.5, possibly maybe an 8. Girl, get out of here. And then he came back and said, hey, I'm going to give her a 7. No, he didn't. How are you going to give her a 7 when just a couple of days ago you gave her a 4? You lying, boy. And you weren't lying to protect her feelings, because when you gave her that 4, you didn't even have the courage to give it to her in front of her face. You gave it to that 4 and you gave her that 4 with the guys only. And the reason you gave her that 4, now I'm realizing even more, is because at this time, by now, all this other stuff has gone down. The 39 and never been in love. The fact that the woman that you slept with 2 weeks before getting married was a woman that Jasmine actually knew. So now you got that hanging over your head as well. This has nothing to do with the size of Jasmine's booty. Even Mac knew it was a lie. He was like, somebody lying up in here. And Mac knows a liar when he sees one, because like I told you, Mac in and of himself is also a liar. I'm telling you, liars know liars. But the problem is they lie for 2 different reasons. I'm going to get into Mac on the Mac video because he's a liar too. But Aries is a liar for a different reason, because Aries is emotionally unavailable and stunted 11-year-old, and all he cares about is protecting himself. All this, I gotta be alone, I gotta work out alone, I gotta run alone. I value my alone time. I know you do, because you can love on yourself in your alone time, and you don't have to worry about loving on anybody else. You don't have to care about opening up to anyone else. You don't have to care about caring about anyone else. Absolutely. You want some alone time. That's why you don't even like dogs, because you barely don't even want to care about no dogs either. Emotionally a stunted 11-year-old. Maybe that gives me a little bit of empathy for him, but kind of doesn't, because at 39 years old, he should have been into a therapist by now and tried to figure all of this out. He shouldn't be coming on Married at First Sight, hoping that a wife could solve all his problems, all his emotional trauma and damage that he has. He is not prepared emotionally and mentally. Not at all. He keeps trying to tell Jasmine, I think it's going to be okay. I think all we need is time. This was what Aries thought. Aries thought I could go get married and it will wipe away all this emotional trauma I have and just give me time that I know I can get there. No, you can't get there. And that's not Jasmine's job to do that for you, Aries. Go get some professional help and let somebody else help you through this, so that when you come into a relationship, you come into a relationship more whole than where you are. Everybody don't need to have everything sorted out before they get to marry. But this right here, this is a big one. This is a big one. He said, even though I got friends vibes for you, Jasmine, maybe that's a good thing, because normally, when I'm with girls, I don't even like them as a friend. I'm just having emotionless sex. So maybe this is a good thing. It's not a good thing, because like Jasmine said, I didn't get married to be nobody's friend. I heard that, Jasmine. Tell him. And Aries talking about, yeah, because everything else about you, I already know I like. I already know that if I'm in a car accident or I get, hurt or anything, you're going to be right there in the hospital with me, and you're going to be there wiping my ass. Feed me grapes, feed me lobster, massage my feet, wipe my ass, wipe my shitty ass. No, Aries, she is not here to be your bed maid. She's not here to be your housemaid. She's not here just to do things for you while you get to emotionally check out of a relationship. I want black art in the house. I want you to take your shoes off. I want the top drawer. I want the left drawer. Even when you think he's about to do something for her and give her the closet, the side of the closet that has 2 racks, you find out, no, not really, because the side he picked it because he wants to put all his shoe collection there. Boom. Even when you thought he was about to do something nice and consider somebody else, you find out, no, he was still considering himself. 11 years old. That's who he is. When she said, when he asked her, is there anything that we could do over on the honeymoon to make it better? And Jasmine started expressing her thoughts and saying, no, not really. I think it was okay because, I think things happen for a reason. And he's over here dancing, eating his tacos. And he's like, oh, I didn't hear nothing you said. I was too busy enjoying my food. Again, a selfish Aries. I don't really want to hear what you have to say anyway, Jasmine, because I'm really not open to it. And I'm telling you, people, it has nothing to do with a big booty. It has nothing to do with that at all. He is emotionally emotionally walled off, period. Sure, maybe if a girl walked in with a big booty, he'd sleep with her, but that don't mean she gonna get his heart. That doesn't mean that he's gonna fall in love with her. He's had plenty of big booty women. He didn't fall in love with them. That is not the problem. He over here trying to give Clint advice on how to be more sensitive to women's feelings, and he don't have no sensitivity towards anyone's feelings. Why the heck is he giving a Clint advice? That's like an alcoholic telling another alcoholic, you need to drink less. Get out my face. Aries took her to his house, talking about, well, let me show you my house. This is my workout room. This is my man cave. Aries, your whole life is a man cave. What you talking about? You got one room in the house that's a man cave. Your whole life is a man cave, and that in itself is the problem. You over here talking about you feel like a little boy still waiting on your daddy to come home. Since you was 4, when did your daddy leave you? When he was 4, he died at 11, but he obviously moved away when he was younger. So you've been stunted at age 4. I gave you 11, but maybe I need to roll you on back to age 4. This is both sad and irritating to watch. It really is, because Jasmine don't deserve this. Jasmine didn't think she was marrying an emotionally a 4-year-old, because that's what we got here. We got an emotional 4-year-old banging on the high chair at the dinner table, talking about feed me grapes, feed me lobster, rub my feet, wash my dirty jaws, wipe my booty when it's full of shit. Let me go to the man cave when I want to go to the man cave. Let me work out when I want to work out without you. Boy, get out of here and go straight to the therapist's office. They should have got off that plane and gone to a therapist's office. They don't need to go to this apartment. Not at all. Not at all. Where are the experts? Because Aries needs some experts up in here. Take that necklace off of your father. Take that obituary down. All that, because you need to grow up. You need to get past this death of your father and move on and stop being emotionally stunted 4-year-old. I'm done with Aries. I'm so irritated, y'all. I'm irritated.